This is Asia Trade. I'm Shirian in Tokyo.
I'm April Hong in Singapore. The top stories this hour. More massive deals fueling the AI trade. Amazon signing a $38 billion agreement to supply OpenAI with computing power using NVIDIA processors. And Microsoft has spent almost $10 billion buying AI capacity from Australia's IREN. The Fed in focus too, with officials divided over the outlook for rates as U.S. factory activity shrinks for an 8th month. Also ahead, Starbucks selling a majority stake in its China unit to private equity firm Boyu Capital, and leading global bankers gathering in Hong Kong for a key summit. We're speaking exclusively with Goldman Sachs.
Smoking reefer, snorting cocaine, probably. And you want to hear some podcast shit.
We're setting up the Asian session. We are looking at Nikkei futures under pressure, 0.2%. Japan coming back from holidays. What we're watching is the Japanese yen at that 154 level against the US dollar. Remember, we continue to see the downside pressure at an 8-month low right now. We have seen officials continuing to intervene in the currency markets in order to prop the Japanese yen higher. We also have breaking news out of South Korea because we are now getting the latest CPI numbers, which was coming in above economists' expectations, gains of 0.3% month on month. Also, the year-on-year number gains of more than 2% above the Bank of Korea's 2% target. We do have a weaker won for the South Korean economy, not to mention rising housing costs that is adding to that pressure on prices. And you can see the ASX 200 pressure of 0.2% is the RBA rate decision. The hold is expected there, April.
Yeah, let's also take a look at how Wall Street fared overnight. On top of the RBA decision, we're of course passing whatever Fed speak we got overnight, but worth noting how the S&P 500 looked pretty flat at the start of what's typically the best month of the year for stocks. We did see, though, the Mag 7 gauge surging up 1.5%. It's really this AI play, Amazon deal as well, fueling the AI bets. We had the likes, of course, of ChatGPT. It's going to be paying AWS to access these NVIDIA GPUs as part of a 7-year deal. Now, on top of that, we're watching treasuries because, as I said, it was about the Fed speak. You had the likes of Austin Goolsbee sounding a bit more worried about inflation than the jobs market. And then you also had a report on the other side of things showing the continued slump in manufacturing in the US, but also kind of tie it all together with the tech story. These bond sales, right? Jumbo corporate bond sales, including from the likes of Alphabet, $18 billion in selling of bonds in the US, following on from Meta's roughly $30 billion offering last week. Now, let's get more details on Amazon's $38 billion deal with OpenAI. Our tech correspondent, Annabelle Drollas, joins us now. So, Belle, what do we know about the deal?
Yeah, what we know about the deal is that certainly it's sort of just another sign that we're seeing that OpenAI is transforming into an AI sort of mega center or powerhouse in the industry. But the details of what we've learned and what was being shared by the companies on Monday in a statement is that essentially Amazon's cloud units, this is AWS, of course, has inked a deal to essentially gain a slice or to provide access to OpenAI and try and fulfill some of OpenAI's seemingly bottomless demand for compute power. So what's going to actually happen here is that OpenAI, the maker, of course, of ChatGPT, is going to be paying AWS a very hefty sum of money to then be able to access hundreds of thousands of GPUs. And this is a deal, as you said, it's going to be a multi-year agreement. It's going to be going out over 7 years. It is worth nearly $40 billion. For Amazon, I mean, it's very good news for Amazon because it is a company that's really sort of struggled to compete in this AI age, but it is an endorsement of their ability to be able to build and run enormous amounts of data. You can see here as well, this is the reaction we got from our Bloomberg intelligence team, and they say this is really aimed at inference capacity. So training is sort of the training of the models. Inference is more focused on the deployment. And so even though this agreement at $38 billion, they're saying is about 6 to 8 times smaller than other compute deals that OpenAI has signed with Microsoft and Oracle, they do think that Oracle is seeking leverage in this and also to diversify some of its cloud infrastructure as well to try and boost its advantage against other frontier models like Anthropic, but also Google's Gemini.
It's incredible the number of deals that we're seeing in the AI space these days. Microsoft also signing an accord with a Sydney-based data center firm.
Yeah, that's right. And to your point, I mean, I think that's why we always have these concerns. Are we in the middle of this AI bubble? But this has been another announcement overnight, of course, not quite as big in terms.
The Cyclops LP Volume 2.
Freak,
Baby.
are you kidding me?
Melody Drill, I got you.
Running my run, baby. Running my run. I am the greatest South of all time.
Just leave me on my own. I've never felt this low.
Dreams come true.
Who's that on the
You're
phone?
coming up on me.
I don't even wanna
You're coming
know.
up on me.
No, I don't wanna know.
You're coming up on me.
Just leave me alone.
I'm number one all across the globe. Greatest of all time in my lifetime. Thank you, God, for my gift, my ability, for my total. Every pain, every suffering in my life, every single song, every album in my catalog. Things come true. I told all of y'all, showed all of y'all, who was the best, the greatest of all time, the one you least suspected, the one that was gifted.
The number one, baby. Ya tú sabes. The number one, baby. Ya tú sabes. Se enamora de ella, pero ella es una jefa. Él se enamora de ella, pero ella es una jefa. Él se enamora de ella. Ella, una jefa, me controla, yo estoy afuera, hablando con ella, el loco se calienta, ella me aconseja, yo pensaba que ella analizaba lo que yo a ella le compartía, cuando yo hablaba yo la